All right, so welcome to Random Thoughts of Your Highness. Today we're going to be smoking on some of that orange sherbet, of course. And we're going to be speaking about a couple different topics. Actually, just one topic. And it's who's going to stand up. So I know that we have had some celebrities speaking up on certain topics. We've had some of the commentators in the conscious community speaking up on certain topics. So we're going to focus on Katt Williams at first. So Katt Williams did a little stand up, kind of in the same spirit of Dave Chappelle, which I respected what Dave Chappelle did with that. What was that? That 846. And similarly, I respect what Katt Williams did with his little stand up. Now, as you can see, I don't know what he did with his hair, whatever. That's his business. The little, Punky Brewster, whatever. But what he said was some real shit, and he said it in his own unique way that was real. Now, to me, this is a reflection. Excuse me. To me, anytime I hear a celebrity speak up on our issues, even like the Kaepernick situation with a lot of the super woke hoteps didn't appreciate what Kaepernick was doing because he wasn't dark enough, or because his mother's white, or because he's an athlete. So he wasn't black enough to speak on black issues, but he was black enough to run a football down the field because everybody was cheering him on when he was doing that. But when I see a celebrity, as I've indicated already on one of the videos here, I know this is a new channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and do all that good stuff. Follow on Twitter, But when I see a celebrity or a major prominent figure, even white folks, speaking on issues, I see it as an applaud to those of us who have been speaking about this on the underground for years, because I know real change comes from the grassroots. So these celebrities, they have Twitter, they have YouTube, they have Facebook, they have nieces, they have nephews. They're still connected in many cases to what's really going on the grassroots. And those of us on the grassroots, those of us independent media sources that are putting this information out, you as well, y'all that retweet, y'all that like, that share, that comment on certain things, people are seeing these. And now what we're seeing is in real time. And I know a lot of people are afraid of this because a lot of people really, to be honest with you, a lot of our people, they're not used to victories. So when they see what looks like a victory, they reject it. That's what you're seeing with this NFAC situation. We're going to get on that in a minute. But what we say resonates to the top. They pay attention. The media pays attention. The mainstream media pays attention. These politicians pay attention. You want to know why reparations is now in the conversation? It's because what's been going on with the independent media sources. So it's resonating to the people. Now you're seeing talking points being brought forth to the mainstream that we have been speaking out about, that are rooted in Garvey principles, that are rooted in Elijah Muhammad principles, that are rooted in Black Panther Party principles. They're now starting to come to the mainstream because the shift is happening. The change of the guard is happening. All the fly shit that all these hoteps been speaking for all these years is now starting to happen. And it seems like people are being afraid about it. So yeah, we have to applaud those celebrities who speak on our behalf. We don't have to follow them as leaders. We don't look at a Katt Williams as a leader of this shit. We don't look at any of these celebrities as leaders, but we look at them as our amplifiers of our voice. So we applaud when that happens. Because who else is going to stand up? Who will stand up? Will you stand up? See, the funny thing about this NFAC situation, and we can say whatever we want to say about Grandmaster Jay and his running for president, or his security detail he did when Trump was running for president. We could speak about his hip hop background, what he did and do. Maybe he fluffed his resume and said he was more relevant in the hip hop world than he was. But guess what? Everybody does a little bit of that. Everybody fluffed their resume a little bit, maybe trying to get that validation, because we understand how our people are, and they love to jump on the bandwagon. I'm not going to fault them for that, because what I seen was the pull up. That's all I needed to see. Suggesting that he's an agent for petty shit is ironic, because most people who actually have a background in militancy and pulling up and strapping up and protecting their communities, what they seen they liked, unless they were jealous. See, some of y'all are jealous because you know you're afraid, because you know you would never strap up and go down to the headquarters of the KKK, because you know you would never pull up on the police and give them that smoke when they murder our people. You don't have it in you to do that. So it makes you reject what you've seen. I seen Taharka Bey, someone I've debated with on my other channel. Like I said, it's a new YouTube channel. The one got cut down. He knows who I am. That's not what this is about. But I did see him go out of his way. First time that pull-up happened at Stone Mountain. He was on Facebook going in and questioning and all this kind of shit. And then he did some interview with it. People are looking for reasons to undermine the pull-up. As if we don't need a pull-up. As if you didn't expect, after 400 years of us going through this, as if you didn't expect at some point we'd pull up. As if you thought that Nat Turner was the only person who led a rebellion. I've been saying for years, we have so many different options that we don't even have to go Nat Turner. So for y'all that are afraid of this going Nat Turner, y'all who don't have it in you to do that, I understand. But what are you going to do? Are you putting resources into the black community by shopping black? Are you banking black? Are you participating in education of our youth? Are you doing anything that is contributing to the cause? Are you participating in local politics? Or are we too woke for that too? The point is, you have to contribute to the cause before you can critique what's going on that you're not going to participate in any damn way. So who's going to stand up? Because the ones that ain't going to stand up, the ones who will continuously undermine those who are doing things, are the ones who don't do anything. Why is your voice valid? Why do you want us to pivot from actual work just to listen to what the fuck you have to say on YouTube? Taharka Bey, for instance. You don't like black any damn way. Why are you critiquing what we're doing when you don't even want to associate with being black? You stay in the Moorish Science Temple with what you do, which is really nothing. Because I ain't seen no Moorish type of contribution to the cause. I don't recall, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall any of the progress that we have made as black people under the black power, which is the only thing that has ever progressed us. Remember that. The Haitian Revolution wasn't successful because they changed their status. It's because they had to pull up. They had to disregard the gods that controlled their minds, adopt what worked for us, and get busy. Any progress that we have made, it hasn't been through Moorish principles. It's been through us putting pressure and then accompanying that pressure with political maneuvers. And that's what got laws changed, and that's what got progress. So right now, as we're speaking defund the police, as we're speaking reparations, as we're speaking Black Lives Matter, as a sentiment, not necessarily as an organization, there has to be pull-up. There has to be the pressure that our demands are actually backed by real, tangible solutions in the form of brothers and sisters who will push the line if necessary. Because if you're not willing to do that, we can build all the economic wealth we want. We could build 1,000 Black Wall Streets all over the nation. We can march and protest, which is important to do. But if you don't have power to back your demands, don't expect your demands to be effective. See, what's going on right now is disgusting, because as we see our own people push against an organization like NFAC at an epic time right now, a time so epic that we actually have more white people protesting than black people for Black Lives Matter or for the justice of George Floyd and everyone else that has been murdered. I'm from the Northwest. Yeah. Look at what's going on in Portland and Seattle. Who would have thought that the Northwest would have so much pull up and would be able to sustain a protest the way we have? Because it's still going down in Portland. It's going down in Portland. Majority of those Portland protesters are white. That's not a surprise to me. So I'm only a few hours from Portland, and I have a lot of comrades in Portland, and I would always hear, "Al, we're not out there deep enough." But what I would say is, look, allow the white people to protest. Support that. Cheer them on, especially if you ain't doing nothing. See, don't start undermining moves and movements that you're not participating in. If you think there's something wrong with the move, then you get in there and you do your part. I'll support that. But don't undermine what's going on. Because it's going on our behalf. It's going on because it's our time. And if you really believe these scriptures, some of you Israelites have been saying for the past 10 years, about what's last will be first and vice versa, and the tail will be the head and all that. If you believe that, then you should know that that's what you're witnessing right now. You're witnessing other nations come together on our behalf to push for justice. That's a beautiful thing. It's a necessary thing. Because we have been fighting on behalf of their causes for the past 400 years. We've been fighting in wars to protect the country that still didn't even free us. We've been fighting for causes, the feminine movement, homosexual movement that doesn't benefit us. So don't undermine now, because they owe us being on the front line. And if you're not going to stand up, then what the hell are you doing trying to discourage others from standing up? It's like you don't want any change. It's like all the shit you've been speaking didn't really mean anything. But I get it. Psychologically, when you see other people doing what you know you should be doing, you have to undermine that, lest you feel guilty for not participating and taking your place. I don't want this to be too long. I just want to say it like this as we end it. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think and all that good stuff. But I salute Katt Williams. I salute Dave Chappelle. I salute anyone who's willing to speak up on topics that are relevant and to add to the atmosphere of inspiring these youth, because that's who's going to have to take the reign. See, these youth are already doing what they do. They're not worried about the petty shit that some of us are worried about. They want results and they want it now by any means. They may not have all the guidance. They may not have all of the historical facts about the Black Panther Party and Marcus Garvey and Huey P. They may not have all of that. But what they do know is something has to happen. And they're willing to go out there and put in that action. Don't discourage them, undermine them. Don't show them disunity. Don't give them mixed signals, selling Ogun juice, but at the same time, denying and rejecting and undermining the Ogun spirit. Because who else is going to stand up? And if it ain't you, then fuck what you're talking about. Straight up.